What is GunCon? Who is GunCon for? Can I dress up?
Um,
It's not Comic
first
Con.
off,
Okay.
first off, the only way you're allowed to dress up is if you uh, go full force into taking on the persona of Colion Noir. I think that would be very funny.
It would be
No,
hilarious.
seriously though, like GunCon, I would love it if people dressed up and all that kind of stuff. I think it's actually an evolution of an event that I used to do. So I started it, I don't remember what year it was. I used to bounce around with the NRA annual meeting and do an event called the TGC panel. And the idea with that event was to bring together some of the top gun video creators, put them on a stage and have a Q&A session that grew over time. We ended up live streaming it. We gave away, I think every year we gave away, tens of thousands of dollars worth of free stuff to the people that showed up. And, as that event grew, the way we brought in brands grew, and then COVID happened, and we had an event planned for Houston. The location pulled the rug out from under us. Terrible, just absolutely frustrating. And we hit pause, and then I decided, we wanted to do it on the East Coast. I was like, I'm tired of chasing the NRA around. They don't care about us. They never really have. Um, and I wanted to do it on the East Coast, so I called up Brownells, who had been the title sponsor for several years, and I said, can we do this? Does it make sense? How do we make this a better event? How do we make it bigger? And they offered up their warehouse, which is in Iowa, of all places, kind of the middle of nowhere, to be fair. And thus GunCon was born. We planned we planned last year's event in 2 months. It was balls to the wall the whole time, and we had a really successful event. It's kind of an amalgamation of, there's little elements of SHOT Show, there's little elements of NRA, there's a regular gun show that we pulled from, the TGC panel that we pulled from. There's elements of all of these different kinds of events. So you have a bunch of content creators. Some of your favorites will be there. You have, we're closing in on 40 companies this year, I think, involved. And then, of course, we have 3 live stream Q&A panels that are going on this year. So we've got an industry panel, the next gen panel, which is sort of your like up and coming or guys that haven't been doing content creation quite as long. And then we have the elite panel, which is guys that have been doing it, 8-10 years. Those will all be live stream Q&A panels. Then we have educational seminars going on. We're going to have an airsoft shoot house in the parking lot, and a lot of stuff. There's going to be a cool photo booth. We bring out food trucks. It's a good time, man. It's just a bunch of people having a really good time looking at cool stuff, hanging out, and just having massive, massive fellowship.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a fantastic time, and I don't go out to too many events, with the just everything. I've got a family. I really can't just be globe trotting,
What
going
do you mean? You don't
from.
want to abandon your family?
Oh, right. Sounds like a bad time waiting to happen.
Yes, yeah, that's not a great idea.
So there's that, and I'm like, okay, there's only so many events that I'm going to travel to. Like if it's in Texas, I'll make time, but so many events that I'm going to travel to. So I was like, when you mentioned that you had the event, and I was like, oh, my guy John, you've been supportive of the work that I do.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't I try to make it? So I hit up my camera guy. I was like, Nate, we got to go to this event. Yes, it's kind of in the middle of Egypt, but I think it's going to be worth our time. Yeah.
I mean, I know that it will be worth your time to build relationships. For content creators, we offer a lot more than the stuff I just talked about. There's more opportunity to build with brands and other creators and just create the community that we want. We want a better community all the time, always. And I mean, that the reason the TGC panel started was because I saw a hole in our community, and I said, so why isn't anybody doing this? So I picked up that torch and I did it, and that has gotten us to where we're at.